Russia. Oh!
They're slapping each other on the back, saying how cool the bomb was. The name of the game is Manhattan Project by Minion Games. We also played with the expansion called the Nations expansion. Generally, you are a superpower. The Nations expansion actually tells you which nation you are. And it's a Cold War nuclear arms race. It's the first to reach a certain point total, and all the point totals come from the bombs you make, the bombs you load onto your bombers, and the explosion tests that you do.
Yeah, it's a European-style board game where you're trying to place workers in certain places, collect resources, store up uranium and plutonium, and build bombs with your engineers and your scientists, and then load them onto the planes that you built. I liked the combination of skill and also luck. There were times where you just kind of have to react to what happens on the board. The certain bomb cards that are available to be built might change your strategy halfway through the game. So you do get to make choices, and your choices matter, and I like that a lot. But at the same time, you also have to be adaptable in your strategy. You can't just go in with one idea and carry that idea all the way through. You do have to kind of pick and choose what you're going to do based on what happens during the game.
And the thing I like about the game is the theme, because it is a light Euro game, and most Euro games have you in a very dry setting where you're building a castle and or ship, and it's all sepia tones.
Or you're farming.
You're farming. I mean, that's most of the games in the genre. This is a nuclear arms race, completely different theme, and they make it work well. Best moment for me in the game, because I was dead last, is I'm not normally an aggressive player, and there is an option where you can do air raids on other people. I used my entire air force, and I bombed the other players.
Will damaged my my uranium reactor, but it didn't matter because at that point I was building plutonium bombs. And so even though he wiped out my entire air force, which wasn't a whole lot to begin with, and then wrecked one of my buildings, it didn't matter in the end because I was building a different kind of bomb anyway. But it was still pretty spectacular to see all those planes just riding down and destroying everything.
Yes.
That was pretty cool. I won!
And I lost completely.
I won. However, after the fact, we did find out that we were playing the mechanic that I had for my country slightly wrong, which probably gave me a bit of an advantage. But yeah, I won. I was China in the game, so China won the arms race.
And I was Britain, and it feels like Britain is now a smoking hole with a giant mushroom cloud over it. The other games I would compare this to is mechanically Deadwood, but it's very similar in the you're either putting workers on or you're taking workers off.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's similar to Lords of Waterdeep because it's got the same feeling of putting down workers, collecting resources, and then using those resources on cards that you have to also get in order to score points. So it's got a very similar kind of mechanic to that. Worker placement, resource gathering, and then point scoring based on the cards that you are able to get into your hand.
The improvements I'd like to see is some more nations, which are coming out, some more options for interactive on the spy center, because they're doing more for the strikes, because I think there's a expansion coming up with rockets, and you can use those. But I want to see more stuff to do with spies, because there is a spy option, and it's just this basic track, and whatever number is on the track is how many buildings you can go into and spy. It's neat. I just would like to see it explored a little more from a design standpoint.
For me, I think I would like to see the battle aspect fleshed out a little bit more. Will was saying that there's some expansions coming that may actually do that. Mm-hmm. But I would like attacking the other players to be more of an attractive option than it was in the game. Like, it was cool, but it didn't help you win. So I'd like to, have something where that might set other players back more, so that it would be a more attractive option for me during the course of the game. Folks that like Euro games, folks that enjoy worker placement kind of things, resource gathering kind of games like that. It's a light Euro though, so if you're a hardcore person, there's still enough strategy here. I think you can enjoy it, but I think it'll have a broader appeal than that. So if you're not somebody that plays a lot of Euros, this would be a pretty decent Euro to begin to get a sense of how worker placement mechanics work and things like that.
Yeah, I would also say that especially American fans who like Euro games, who tend to like a American style of a little bit more interaction, a little bit more aggression, this is the type of Euro game that you'd like.
I definitely play it again. I think it's really fun. Every game's going to be just a little bit different because of those cards that come out and when they come out and which country you have and what your power is. There's a lot of different techniques or strategies that you can try to implement. So yeah, I'd like to try to play it again and see if I could win a different way.
I've only won probably 1 or 2 of the games, but I've had a blast every single time I played it.
And it's a really fun theme. I mean, anybody can have fun playing a game about nuclear war, right? I mean, it's something that we can all kind of laugh at. So
it's what you want to teach your children.
It's a good time.
Have you learned to love the bomb?
I've learned to stop worrying and love the bomb.